Hello, great wealth students, and welcome to a very important lesson. Today, inshallah, we are going to shed a light on the grammar rule that focuses on used to plus infinitives. And this lesson is in your course book and also workbook of your of semester 2. Before we get started, let me test you on some previous grammar that we studied previously. Okay, so here we have a short conversation between speaker A and speaker B. Let's have a look. Speaker A, you can pause the video in order to answer it yourself, and then you can check it with us. So speaker A, I tried to call you yesterday, but you answer. Okay, so as we can notice that tried in the past tense, past simple, we have also a time here, time expression yesterday. So, but you had not or did not. We cannot use had not because it should be followed by past participle, but here it is followed by an infinitive, so it is preceded by didn't. Okay, so I tried to call you yesterday, but you didn't answer. Speaker B, I'm sorry, my mobile switch off. Was or is? Again, what do you think? The answer is was, because still at that time his mobile phone was switched off. So speaker A replied, that is strange. When or why? Okay, so here we have a question, right? So we need to read the answer in order to identify, because we know that when is used to ask about the time and why is used to ask about a reason. Let's have a look at the answer. My father took it. Okay, so it didn't ask about time. So I don't think the answer for number three is when. So the answer is why. Excellent. Let's read it again. My father took it because or however my exam results were not good. So here my exam results were not good. So this is a reason because his father took it from him. So the answer is because. Very good. And the last one, he was very angry with me, but he gave it back only an hour since or ago. Of course, we use since in, we use, it should be followed by a particular or specific time. So we can use what? An hour ago. So this is the answer for this question. Now let's jump to unit 2 of theme 4. In this lesson, you are going just to scan some text very quickly about Omani non-governmental organizations, because this is the title of unit 2. And then we will focus on the grammar rule that focuses on used to plus infinitives. Great. So here we have three logos in your class book, page 52. Okay, so here you have two questions. Look at the logos of these Omani non-governmental organizations, and we studied this phrase. What kind of work do these non-governmental organizations do? And the second question, do you think that NGOs are important and why? So you need to just give a reason for each one of them. So in order to find the answer to these questions, you need just to go over the short texts that you have in your book. And these texts are going to explain each type of organization. Okay, so you will find different organizations here, okay, when they were established and what were their focus on and so on and so forth. So easily you can find the answers to these two questions, okay? So you can find the name of these non-governmental organizations and also what kind of work do these NGOs do. So for example, what kind of work do these NGOs do? If we take this example, Dar al-Ata charity organization, okay, so this organization helps poor people in Oman. It runs a range of programs during Ramadan, such as setting up tents and distributing iftar packets. And you will find all of these here in the short text. And the same thing can be done in the other NGOs. Okay, like this one, Association of Early Intervention for Children with Disabilities. Okay, and this is the abbreviation for it, and you can find the answer here. The same thing with the third NGO, which is Environmental Society Oman. Now let's jump in and focus on the grammar rule in this lesson, which focuses on used to plus infinitives. What comes to your mind when you see this phrase, used to plus infinitives? For example, like this bicycle, look at the picture and look at this sentence. I used to ride a bicycle, but I don't do this anymore. What does that mean? Think about it, please. What did you find? You can pause the video to think about it. Excellent, guys. So let's explain it in details. So used to plus infinitive is used to explain things that happened in the past but no longer happens. For example, look at this picture. You have this picture, but this picture was in the past, and this picture is these days or nowadays. Okay, look at this example, please. I used to play tennis a lot, but I don't play very much now. What does that mean? It means when he was young, in the past, he used to play tennis regularly from time to time, but he has stopped playing tennis recently. So he says, I don't play very much now. So maybe now he prefers to plant the trees. So he played tennis a lot in the past, and this is what this picture says. But nowadays, or for example, he waters the plants. Okay, so the idea of using used to plus infinitives is to indicate something that happened in the past, but is no longer happening now. Okay, guys? Also, it can be used with actions that happened in the past but no longer happen, like this one. Look at this girl. This girl is called Fatima. So Fatima used to spend a lot of money on clothes, but now she cannot afford it. Now Fatima stopped buying or spending a lot of money on buying clothes. Okay, because now she doesn't have a lot of money. And also, we can use used to plus infinitives to describe things that were true in the past but are not true anymore. Like this building. Look at this building. This building is nowadays what? A school, right? So this building is now a school, but it used to be a hospital. Can you see the point? So this building was a hospital in the past, but nowadays it's not a hospital. It was transferred or changed into a school, as you can see here. So here, when we talk about the true facts that happened, or habits maybe, that happened in the past, but they are no longer happening nowadays. So how can we form questions to talk about habits or something that happened in the past? Yes, you can use used to talk about questions like this one. Did you used to do something? For example, did you used to eat sweet when you were a child? Yes, I did. Or no, I didn't. So this is when we talk about something in the past. We use the auxiliary verb did, because this is the way how we describe things in the past, did. Okay. But the main verb which is used, it will be what? In the infinitive form. So we cannot add ed to it because did is already doing the job. So did you used to eat sweet when you were a child? Yes, I did. Or no, I didn't. Okay, so this is the way how we form questions using used to with the question word, which is did. Okay, how can we form negative sentences in order to talk about something that didn't happen in the past? You have two ways to do it. You can use didn't used to. For example, I didn't used to like him. I didn't used to eat ice cream. I didn't used to swim a lot. I didn't used to ride a bicycle. Okay, so all these are correct. You can use it in this way. Didn't use to infinitive. Or the other way is used not to. So in order to avoid didn't, we can delete it. We can use not to. So we will bring not after the verb used. And look at this one. It will remain the same with ed without using the auxiliary verb. Okay, so for example, we can say, I used not to like him. I used not to ride a bicycle. I used not to do something. Okay, so you have two ways to describe things that happened in the past, but for me, I preferred the first one, didn't used to, because it seems to me that it's easier for you students. Okay, but you need to know both usages of them. Here, I would like just to show a difference or a confusion with many students. What is the difference between I used to do something or I'm used to doing something? Okay, so pay attention. What are the differences between these two phrases? Here I used, but here I am used. So here we have the helping verb am, the verb to be. Okay, okay. To do, but here infinitive, but here gerund, to doing. Okay, and we studied gerunds and infinitives in theme 3, if you remember. Okay, but this one, I am, or he is, or they are, the verb to be plus used to gerund. Okay, so let's focus on both of them. So the first one, as usual, I used to do something. It means for example, I used to live alone. It means I lived alone in the past, but I no longer live alone. Now I have a family. Okay, I used to live alone. So here I describe something happened in the past, but now I'm not living alone. Now I live with my family, so I'm not alone. Okay, so this is to describe something in the past, but no longer happens. The other one, I'm used to doing something like this one. I'm used to living alone, like this girl. Okay, she is living alone in her house. Okay, so when you ask her why you are living alone, she would answer, I'm used to living alone. So it means it's okay for me. I can live alone, no problem. It means I live alone and I don't feel it's strange or difficult because I have been living alone for some time. So this is not something like new or strange. I'm used to it. And sometimes you can see or find some people saying, I'm used to it. It means no problem. I can do it. Okay. For example, can you use this mobile phone? Yes, no problem. I'm used to it. Or I'm used to working with it, or I'm used to playing with it. Okay. So this is the idea between I used to do and I'm used to doing something. Okay, guys. So if we go back to our class book, page 53, and we will focus on the same grammar rules. So now I hope you are familiar with this grammar rule, which is used to plus infinitive. Okay, so used to plus infinitive refers to habits or situations in the past that no longer happen now. So let's read these sentences and match them to the options on the right. Okay, what options on the right do we have? For example, we have negative, did not. We have a question, did, and we studied this, how we form negative, how we form questions, and also affirmative, like a positive sentence without negative, and also a question that has WH words, and also negative that has never, and also F, which has comparison between past and the present. Good. Let's have a look at number one. Before 1970, there only used to be 3 formal schools in Oman. So what do you think is the answer? You can pause the video in order to answer it. Excellent, guys. So the answer is C. It is affirmative sentence, a positive sentence. Okay. Before 1970, there only used to be 3 formal schools in Oman. Look at number 2, please. I used to dislike learning English, but now I really enjoy it. What do you think of this one? I used to dislike. Which one of these? It is comparison between past and the present. In the past, he used to dislike learning English. He didn't like it in the past, but now learning it. Okay. And then we have number 3. I never used to eat spicy food. So here we have never. Okay. I never used to eat spicy food. So the answer is E, negative. But we have 2 types of negatives. We can form negative sentence using never, and also we can form negative sentence using did not, like number 4. There didn't used to be as much traffic in Muscat. So the answer is A, didn't or did not. There didn't use. But look at the difference between negative and negative using never and using did not, which are number 3 and number 4. What can you see? I never used, so used with ed the same, but with didn't, there didn't use, there is no ed. Can you see the point? So please don't mix them up and pay attention to them. Look at number 5, please. Who used to live here? Okay, so this place is empty. No one is living there. But when I ask this question, it means there was somebody living here in the past. So who used to live here? So here I'm asking about something. And here I'm using question with WH word, which is who. And the last one, did you used to live in Nizwa? So here I'm referring to what? I'm referring to question using did. So the negative with didn't is formed with used to, okay? Not used with ed, used to plus infinitive. Okay, so here we have some questions to refer our grammar rule. When do we use it? When can we use this grammar rule? Think about it. And does it always refer to the past? Yes. How to form the negative? We can form it using did not, used to, or never used to, or used not to do something. And how to form questions? Using did plus used to, or WH plus used to. Okay, like this one. So used to plus infinitive refers to past habits or situations which have stopped or changed in some way. It always refers to the past, not the present or future. So simple present tense is used to talk about present habits. So negatives can be formed with did not, didn't, or never. Questions can be formed with did or used to, can be used with WH questions. Very easy, guys, right? Now let's move on to page 46 of your workbook, activity number 2. Circle the correct options in the sentences below. So here we have different sentences in a paragraph. Okay, I used to or used to go to school in Salalah when I was young. So here I'm using the past tense, right? So what do you think is the best answer? You can pause the video in order to answer this question. Excellent. So the answer is used to. My brother and I used to or never used to walk to school together because my family did not used to or didn't used to have a car. Okay, so they didn't have a car. Okay, so my brother and I used to walk to school together because my family didn't used to or didn't use to. It has ed here. And we talked about this. When we have the auxiliary verb, we should not use ed. So the answer is the first one, didn't use to. So they didn't use to have a car. My school never used to or used to be quite small, but now it's much bigger. So now it is bigger. So the answer is used to. Excellent. Math used to be my favorite subject. Used to, very good, guys. And we didn't or never used to study English. Here we have used, and we said that when we have did or didn't, we should not use ed. We should put it in the infinitive form. So the answer is never to study English. I didn't used to enjoy reading books when I was at school. I didn't use because it is preceded by didn't. But now I really, now I'm talking about now. Can I say I used to love? No, of course, because I'm describing something happening now. I really love to read. Okay, so this is how we answer grammar questions, guys. Excellent. I'm so proud of you. Okay, let's move on to our workbook, page 77. Okay, so here you are going to use the phrases below to write the sentences about the past with used to plus infinitive. Like this one, travel everywhere by foot. So it is changed into in the past, people used to travel everywhere by foot. Here we have not have laptop computers. So we need to form a sentence using used to plus infinitive. But here we have not, it means I will put it in the past tense. So I will make it in negative. So I will make it negative. Okay, guys? So in order to form a negative sentence, we will use did not or didn't. Okay, so I didn't have laptop computers, or I I didn't use to have laptop computers. It will be like this. Or in the past, people didn't use to have laptop computers. Okay, I hope it's clear to everyone. Let's have a look at number 2. You can pause the video to answer it yourself. Okay, you can start with in the past, people communicate by letters. In the past, people used to communicate by letters. Excellent. So in the past, people used to communicate by letters. Stop the video now and do the rest of them. Number 3 and number 4. I'm sure you can do it. You can check the answers, please. I'm sorry because they are not on the correct place, but you can move this up. Never eat fast food. In the past, people never used to eat fast food. And for this one, not shop in big shopping malls. It will become in the past, people did not use to shop in big shopping malls. Okay, guys, on the same page, activity number 2, correct the mistake in the sentences below. So here we have 5 sentences and they have some mistakes. Try to find the mistakes. For example, number 1, if you want to answer it yourself, please stop the video and answer it and then check it with me. Good. Let's get started and answer number 1. There used to be more turtles in the world. Okay? Use. What do you think? Excellent, guys. It should be used. So here is the mistake. We should change what? Use and make it used. There used to be more turtles in the world. Excellent. How about this one? There didn't used with ed. Very simple, guys. Do it, please. There didn't. It should be use. There didn't use to be shopping malls in Oman. Do the rest, please. And now you can check your answers. Excellent, guys. I'm so proud of you. Excellent. Let's move on to the next task, activity number 3. Here you are supposed to rewrite the sentences again and the questions below with the words in the correct order. They are scrambled. They are not in the correct order. So try just to put them in a correct order. Okay, so here we have ago, be, Oman, different, 45, very, 2 years, and used. Okay, so it will become Oman. We will start with Oman. used to be, used to be. Very different, 45 years ago. Okay, so this is the way. Try to form sentences using used to plus infinitive or negative. Didn't plus used to plus infinitive. Okay, guys, so you can stop the video now in order to answer this question. And here you have a question mark. Pay attention to it. So obviously it will start with the word did. Very good. So did there used to be less traffic in the past? Okay, you can answer the rest 3, 4, and 5, and then you can check the answers with this video. Do it now. Stop the video. Excellent, guys. Now let's have a look at the answers. You can check your answers at home. Very good. On page 77 of workbook, in task number 3, you are supposed to complete the sentences with used to and the verb in brackets. Then match the sentences halves. Okay, so here you need just to work on these sentences, like this example. Number 1, when we were young, my family, here we have live. So try just to put what? To put used to. Used to live in apartment. Okay, it will become like this. You can pause the video again and complete the rest of the questions yourselves, and then you can check them with me. Go ahead. Excellent, guys. Now let's have a look at number 2. In the past, Oman, we have not, didn't used to have. Very good. Or used not to have. Excellent. Or never used to have. All of these are correct. Okay, so didn't used to have. And here we have never, so it will become I never used to play sports, like this. And check the rest of the questions, please. The last task of your class book, page 53, use the prompts here that you have and ideas of your own to write 5 sentences about your past habits. So this is like an assignment or like a short homework for you guys in order just to think about something that happened in the past and use or talk about yourself. Then read your sentences to your group. For example, live in, have, and so on and so forth. For example, I used to live in Muscat. Or I used to have long hair. Or I used to have a mobile phone. Okay, I used to drink coffee, but now I drink tea. And so on and so forth. So try just to think about these prompts or ideas and try to come up with some sentences using used to. This can make you sure if you understand the grammar rule that we studied together today. Okay, guys, I hope you like this lesson and benefit from it, and you understand the uses of used to plus infinitive. Okay, if you have any questions, suggestions, comments, ideas, please let me know, and wish you all the best. Stay safe and see you very soon. All the best.